What's going on, Black Gods? What's going on? What's going on? All right, so for starters, I am drinking some Uncle Nearest. That's what I'm drinking now, Uncle Nearest. Great bottle of whiskey. If you want to get your freak on, you want to get a nice little buzz going, and it's black owned, black made, black owned, black distributed. Uncle Nearest, get you a bottle of that. So, I wanted to make this video quick. Let me make sure it's live. Let's see. All right, yeah, we live. So, I wanted to make this video because I get tired. I get tired of the mistake that we continuously make when we're going through, what's happening, Lane? Going through these transgressions and fighting for black rights, or every time we come across some black issues or black tragedies. Appreciate it. Healthy. Appreciate it. Is that we keep using the additive, here's what we aren't doing, or we aren't doing this, or we need to do that because we ain't doing X, Y, and Z. And what's interesting is that I know so many, and I know plenty of you all know so many blacks who are fighting for our progress in every industry of America, in the private industry, in the nonprofit industry, in the political space, on the streets, even fighting crime, even trying to prevent crime. You know, there's blacks doing a lot of work that need a lot of help. They need a lot of encouragement. They need a lot of support, continued support. One of the things that we do to defame that support or slow down that support is by saying what we aren't doing. You know, so one of the things I want to eliminate, the main thing I want you all to start eliminating from your circles of conversation is what we aren't doing. All right. You need to focus on two things: what we're doing right, that's working, and what we need to do more of. All right. Yes, we need to own more businesses. Yes, we need to create more healthy black marriages and marital families. Yes, you know, those are things that we all need to work on. Yes, we need to get more blacks in office. Yes, we need to change laws to and legislature to benefit black people, to give black people the same advantage and leverage that we do that the laws are currently for traditional conservative white men. So what's happening, Kay? So what's happening? Again, I hope y'all drinking because I'm drinking. All right, so this is going to be a long, good one. All right, got my bottle with me. It's about to be a good one. What's happening, Ryan? There's so many black people doing so many things, myself included. I know Christopher Bruce, as a lawyer, he was doing work this weekend, helping bail out protesters. I've donated money to him. Others have donated money towards his cause. We are doing the work. You defeat the momentum that blacks are utilizing to do the work by saying what we aren't doing. Stop getting in these conversations, in these circles with a lot of black and focusing on what we aren't doing, what we're not doing, what we don't have. Cancel that out. Delete all that because it serves no purpose. You're talking death in the people that are trying to produce life within our community. All right. Bree Newsom. I'm learning about a lot of black people during this, black people out doing the good fight and helping progressive black people. What's happening, Angela? What's happening, Rob? By, just me digging and seeing who's doing what. Because instead of me saying, oh, well, we don't have this or we don't have that, I'm finding out what blacks are doing to ensure that we have this or we have that. Now, blacks may be doing it in the small sector. You may, like for Atlanta exists. Atlanta is not a black-owned city. We have to stop that. We have to stop saying notions like Atlanta or heavily populated black cities or black-owned cities or black cities because it's predominantly black folk that populate the city. That doesn't mean you run the city, all right? Black people only in Atlanta only own 18% of the property. How can you run the city and you don't own none of the property, all right? However, there are that 18% we're going to encourage. That 18% who own property, we're going to help ensure that they keep that property. We're going to help ensure that they build up on the property that they own. We're going to learn from them how we can obtain property. All right. But Atlanta is not a black city. Don't get it confused just because cities that you live in, Baltimore, LA, well, LA is probably not the best example, but Baltimore, DC, wherever city you live in, and there's a lot of black people there that we run it. We don't run those cities. We're just the black face of those cities. We don't own the infrastructure behind it. Still, that can change. It will change. Why? Because the white people that own those infrastructures, before them, there was a group of people that owned that land and infrastructure. So what that tells me and shows me and should show you is that can also change. It changed before, it can change again. Don't get so focused on trying to, what's happening, Amanda? Don't get so focused on trying to create immediate change. During these protests and everything, we cannot create generational, sustainable change right now, today. However, our actions can create that long-term longevity that we need in the very near future. So what I want you to do is when you go in your black circles and you have this talk and you share this video, make sure you focus on what blacks are doing and not what blacks aren't doing or don't have. We know we're going to prison the most. We know we're abusing our black women the most and killing our black women the most. We know we got our children in poverty the most. We know they have the worst chances, the odds of succeeding in this country. We know that. That's already a fact. But speaking life into death won't create life. You have to speak life into life that's already living so that we can create an abundance of more life for others. Because you get to live. Wallow said this today on their $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Great podcast, by the way. It's more street, but it's still a good-ass podcast. He said that you get to live every day you get to live, but you only die once. And that's a motherfucking fact. You only going to die one time. But every day that you live is a day that you can make a difference. Small difference, large difference. You can make a difference. And every difference you make and I make adds up. Literally one of my favorite drinks. Oh, yeah. Get that. Uncle Nearest. It is a great whiskey. Every time I go to the liquor store and ask for this, they always say it's the best whiskey. Start your online future. Yeah, Roy Williams got a website where he helps business owners build websites. There's all types of black people out there doing things. Find a black person that's doing something and get with them and add it up. Get with them and build up whatever and encourage them, support them, and reciprocate. Have them support you and build you up. Now, the next point I want to get on is that I sat down and watched this 2-hour-long red table that was full of black leaders from the 1970s. Angela Davis was on there, Stokely Carmichael, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the key pivotal things they had talked about during this issue was that blacks, we're making the mistake of expecting that we're going to have a monolithic leader, that we're going to have one idea and one concentration of power. That's not true. That's not how power works. That's not even how you build power. That's not how the United States came to be. It took many political powers to come together to build America. It took many minds to come together to make the Declaration of Independence. One document is like 28 persons that signed that document. That's 28 different ideologies, but they represent 28 different groups of people, hundreds of people, all into 28 collective minds. So my advice for you is to get with a group. I don't care if it's a Facebook group. I don't care if y'all meet at a coffee shop or a cigar bar. I don't care how y'all get together, a sorority, whoever. I want to advise you and advocate that you join a black group and get behind a specific black cause that you as a group share. I don't care if it's 10 of you. I don't care if it's 5 of you. I don't care if it's 5,000 of you. There's one right now that's been forming the black-owned businesses of New Jersey that's been formed. They went from a few 1,000 followers to, in a matter of 24 hours, now they're up to like 40,000 followers, right? Because they're all getting behind the idea of black ownership in New Jersey area. That's just one example. That's just one group. Now, every city can do that. Every group of friends, a group of collaborative black thinkers can get together, form group think tanks. Because what happens is you build representatives from your group tanks that could talk to representatives from other group tanks, collide on issues. Boom. Now you got a powerhouse behind one selective issue that you all have in commonality. Instead of each and every individual having to try to find an idea that you agree on. Am I making sense to y'all so far? What's happening, Roy? Lucretia, Tico, what's happening, bro? What's going on, God? So that's what I want to challenge you black guys to do. I want you black guys to find a group. I don't care if you got to create a group. You can add me to your group. Now, I ain't going to participate in all your groups because sometimes I might not agree with what your group is going for or whatever. However, I want to encourage you to create a black group, a black centrist group, or join a part of a black focused group, and you all collide on ideas and to make those ideas into fruition by acting on those ideas. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's how you build power, economic power. That's how you build wealth. That's how you build a network. That's how you build political strength. I have a brother today who we had a great conversation. One of my big bros, big mentors, Ty Ellis. Y'all sometimes see him on my post. Anyway, we talked about, he's going to, he talked about an idea of in Atlanta, building a PAC, a group where we all donate money towards a cause, and we're all gonna build a politician. We're literally gonna find a guy who's gonna support and push forward ideas, and we're gonna support him to get elected so he can pass legislation that's specifically going to be for black folk. That's just one idea. That's just one group. You all can do this in any county you live in. You can do this in any city you live in. All I beg for you, I encourage you to do is just to not do it alone. Do it as a group. Again, it doesn't have to be everybody. Everybody's not going to be on board with your grandeur idea and plan. All right. And it's going to take more than you to execute. But you have to do it in packs and groups. All right. These riots and these protests, I don't want to even combine them two together because they're separate. There are people peacefully protesting, and there's the riots that's being taken over by alt-right, third-party agendas that have nothing to do with what black people are fighting for, and other white allies are helping black people fight for. So, we've already shown that there's power in numbers, because it's hard for them to put down these riots. If we didn't have power in numbers, they couldn't put down these riots and protests. They could have just put us down in one day, but they can't. Why? Because it's more of us than it is of them. It's more of us than it is of the opposition. All right. That's just an example of how powerful it is to work as a group than to operate as a singular person. Am I making sense so far? Let me know if I'm not making sense. Ask me some questions. Let's really get. There's been a lot going on in my mind lately, a lot in my DMs lately. I've been talking to a lot of people that I really want to relay these messages to y'all. What's happening, Ash? What's happening, Kelly? So that's what I want to encourage blacks to. Even if you got to get some whites involved, there's plenty of whites who want to be involved in helping blacks get equity. The equity that black people are trying to get up to is the equity that traditional conservative white men have in America. Why? Because all the laws are tailored towards traditional conservative white men. That's who all the laws in this country have always been tailored towards. Not women, not white women, not the children, definitely not colored folk. It's traditional conservative white men. That's who these laws are tailored for. And so we, as a people, especially as black people, need to get to that same leverage level, equity level that they have in this country, in every sector of this country, in every industry. All right, and we do that, again, by getting together in groups. What's happening, Betty? Betty, appreciate it for adding me to that group. So that was the second point. So the first point, again, was stop focusing on what black people aren't doing and concentrate and support what black people are doing. I mean, if you see somebody posting, posting a meme or posting videos or posting links to where they're advocating for blacks, where they're building black business, or they're speaking for blacks out in public, or they're running for Congress or running for some type of seat, whatever they're doing is black, that means you share their content, or you tell others about their content that you're seeing. Now, you might not get a lot of traction. You might not get hundreds of likes or thousands of likes. It might not go viral, but that's not the point. It takes a group of us. It's a collaborative effort. It's just one at a time, one block on top of one block. Again, we don't all have to move the same way, but as long as we're all utilizing the same strategy as far as working in groups, we build that powerhouse where we don't have to go ask white folks for nothing on top of no courthouse. We just make our demands and make our phone calls to the people that we already got inside the building to demand the changes that we need to immediately see, such as other groups have done for decades. All right. So that was number one. Again, number one was focus on what we are doing and capitalize on that. Number two was operate as a group. All right. Operate as a group. And the third issue I wanted to speak on directly with these riots and with the protests is I'm for the protests. I've been supporting the protests from all sides. You know, I've been sending money left and right. I couldn't make it out to any of them physically. There's not really any going on down here in West Palm. But I've been supporting. I've been hands-on with it all. On the front lines, I got people DM me all the time, keeping me updated, and I appreciate that. As far as the riots, I don't care nothing about these white folks stuff that's getting fucked up, that property that's getting fucked up. What I care about are the black-owned businesses that are being damaged in the forefront. Because a lot of those white-owned businesses, those white-owned properties, don't do anything but add to systematic racism. It's those black-owned businesses and those black-owned properties that help deconstruct systematic racism. So we have to protect those businesses and support those businesses. And I challenge those businesses to get out there and promote that they're black-owned. Put a sign up or a logo up that say, hey, I'm a black-owned business. All right, that help spread awareness, because when you're that invested in the community, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying all the time, because I heard about the sergeant that got killed in St. Louis and the business owner that got killed, the black business owner that got killed. I understand it happens. But 9 times out of 10, if you're invested in the community and invested in the people, they usually respect you and reciprocate that by protection. All right, during rallies like this. Where are you sending your money for support? One of the persons I send my money to support for is Christopher Bruce. I'll be sure to link him in the video, or you can just scroll on my page and you'll see me sharing one of his posts with his Cash App link. And I just sent him money for, he basically helps all the peaceful protesters in Atlanta get out of jail. All right, because here's another factor that most are not concluding when you go out and protest, when you go out or riot and you get caught up in a riot, is that blacks still proportionally can't afford the bail money to get out of jail. That's a problem. And you'll incur more debt by going to jail. That's a problem. So those are the things you got to think about when you go out and protest, when you go out and riot, is that other factor of how you're going to get out, deal with the financial consequence of that. So I donate money towards his cause to help with that. And then I donate, and then Kay, what you can also do is you can find anybody who's out. Like I found a woman, Mia, she's in Minnesota. I've been donating money to her to help go out and provide nourishment to the protesters, to the peaceful protesters. So she's been going out, giving them snacks, giving them water, ensure they're fed and they're well quenched to keep up the good fight. You know what I'm saying? So you can find anybody who's out, who's making rounds, going out, and they're solely just making sure everybody's, fed and everyone has, because it's hot outside and everyone is hydrated to continue the good fight on the front line. So that's another thing I've been doing as well. There's plenty of people, like I said on my second point, there's plenty of blacks out there making a difference. You just have to do the work of finding a black in your city or your town or any place that you care about and pour into them so that they're able to continue to pour in us. What's happening to Antoine? What's happening to Kelly? Tavon? What's happening, God? So that's what I want you black guys to focus on. I want you black guys to focus on those 3 things. And my voice getting tired, hoarse. I got a lot of studying and work to continue doing. And here's another thing I want to focus on too, real quick. If you're a black as a black man, a black guy, the best thing you can do, if you don't want to go out and fight, if you don't want to protest, you don't want to put your life in danger. And listen, I understand, especially if you're married, you got kids, you got a family and well-being, you got that to protect. It's not smart for you to go out and protest and put yourself on the front line. Same for black women. It's not smart for you to go do that when you got babies at home to keep secure. But the best protest that you can have is to build a successful and prosperous black livelihood. That means financial stability for you and your family. That's the greatest protest, because it helps strengthen our black economy. All right, because the more financially stable you are, the better off your kids are. The better off your kids are, the better off they are participating in our community. They don't go fucking up shit. And the more that you can able to pour into black causes. All right, so that's the strong. Don't get discouraged because you feel like you've been sitting out on the fight. Because you ain't been out on the front lines, or haven't been able to get out because you've been working or going on vacation or whatever. You can still participate. You're helping with disassembling systematic racism by simply building a healthy black life. Simply doing that alone is just as great protest as those fighting on the streets yelling with the picket signs. I have a resource who is offering pro bono legal representation to protesters who are arrested in NYC too. Yeah, please share that. Yeah, share it on my wall. Tag me in it. Tag me in anybody that's helping, anybody that's making a difference. I'll be sure to allow the tag, as long as it's nothing crazy, because, we got to stay away from those MLMers at the same time, But, tag me in anything that's going to help make a difference. I'm on board with that. Trying to think what else I wanted to cover here. That's just about it. If y'all got any questions, hit my DM. I got Black Gods. I got a lot. Got a lot of coaching content coming up for you. And I am going to dedicate a portion of my coaching content towards Black moms who have Black sons, because even though I hate mentoring, because it's a pain in the ass dealing with the parents, there's a lot of content that I need to give to you all to deliver to your Black sons. What's happening, Rogers? So yeah, share this video, comment below. If you have any questions, shoot me some questions, shoot me some DMs. And remember, you had what it took the entire time. Fear Coach, fearless Black man.